Let me fix this. Okay. What's up, you guys? It's your boy. You know what it is. I kind of wanted to speak about something today that I never really get the chance to speak about at all. Because I'm always shunned for doing it. I'm always, attacked for it and this and that and all this other crap, Well, and today I want to, speak about my life, honestly. And not talking about, the suicide, the depression, but my life and what my daily life is like. Like, I want to give you guys a personal inside look at my life and how I was born, growing up, what I've gone through, what I've been through, and what it's like to be, in someone in my position. Because I feel like not many people get to, you know, really see that side of things. Because, everybody always sees me, preaching about life, doing this, doing that, preaching anti-suicide and stuff like that. And, and that is a big part of it. But, so, am I nervous? Yes, but I don't give a shit. Let's go. And so, if you guys don't know my real name is Chance, but you guys know me as Cyraxx or, Scarface or Shadowblade or Virus or whatever name you guys know me by, but my actual name is Chance. I was born September 20th, 1990. Literally in the coldest fucking state in the U.S. I was born in Anchorage, Alaska. Don't know what time of morning, though. I'll have to find that out. But when I was born 1 pound 10 ounces, and I was very, very premature. And I mean very, to the point where doctors said that I wouldn't live. Doctors said that I would not live, that, my mom, who was my grandmother at the time, had, they flat out told her that she may as well, spend what little time she could with me because I wasn't going to be around for very long. That day I was born, literally within a few weeks of that, I was supposed to die. I was not supposed to be here. And so my mom went against their wishes. My mom went against the doctor's wishes. And there was one nurse who believed that I would, who was actually my godmother. Shout out to my godmother. What's up? If you're watching this part right here is going on to my godmother. If my godmother is actually watching this and not some fucking troll, hi. I'm doing good. I'm alive and well. But a lot of people do get confused on something that is really weird. I know it's kind of backtracking a little bit, but a lot of people ask me, how is my grandmother my mother? Initially, my mom was my grandmother, but my biological parents couldn't take care of me. My biological father went to prison the day I was born, and my birth mother literally had physical and mental issues to where she couldn't. Like, it wasn't her fault or anything, she just couldn't. So my grandmother adopted me the day I was born making her my mom. So that's how she went from being my grandmother to my mom. A lot of people get confused over that, but it is what it is. Anyways, moving on. But they had me on oxygen from literally the time I was born till like I was 5, 6 years old. I had to carry around this big ass oxygen tank, which I can ever get it unburied in the back room. If I can ever get it unburied and bring it out, I'll show you guys. But right now, it's actually buried up underneath some stuff that we're getting ready to do yard sale for next year. So yeah, it's kind of stuck underneath some very, very heavy stuff that I do not have the strength to move. At least not by myself, anyway. But I was on an oxygen tank from literally the time I was born to the time that I was 5 years old. And the reason for that is because when I was born with one kidney and one very, very underdeveloped lung. So breathing for me was very, very hard. And my skin was so thin and translucent that if you could literally imagine just barely tapping your skin like that right there, like this, my skin would legitimately tear. So I had to be put back in an incubator for about 3 to 6 weeks. I had tubes in my head and all kinds of stuff, which if you guys have ever seen my head and you guys see like little scars and stuff, that's what that's from. It's from that. But once once my skin fully developed and I was able to be outside of, being outside of saran wrap, being outside of an incubator, they went in and they put me on, an oxygen tube. From the day I was born to the day I was 5 years old, I was on an oxygen tank. I was on an oxygen tank so many times. Like, there were times where I would be on it and be off it, then I'd be back on it again and be off it. And that went on till I was about 5, maybe 6 years old. And then, after that, I started, my lungs started getting stronger and stronger to where I can actually breathe on my own. Now, given the circumstances, if you guys have ever watched my videos and you guys notice that I'm gone for like one or two, like a day or two, or like sometime during the week and I don't post right away, there's actually a reason. Because, see, my life is very different from most. I've spent my entire life in and out of hospitals. Because as a result of me getting off of an oxygen tank, I have to go to the hospital or the doctors once a month to, get a checkup to make sure my breathing is okay. Because my one lung is so underdeveloped that they need to check in and make sure that I'm breathing right, that everything's okay. And that's been my life, my entire life. Growing up through school, I was never the tallest kid. I was the shortest kid. I was very, very short. And which explains as to why I'm short now. I'm only 5'3". I'm literally only 5'3" and 30 years old. But a lot of you people sit there and you feel bad for your lives. Like, you sit there and say that life is hard. That, the situations you're going through are hard. And on some levels they might be. But a lot of us take life for granted. But me, I try to live life to the fullest every day. I try to make these videos not to be the baddest and biggest person on YouTube. I do it to help people. I do these videos to inspire you guys and to help you guys through whatever it is that you're going through. Because I know what it's like to be there. Every day that I wake up and that I breathe, I'm happy. See, you guys wake up, you get up, you go to your job, you do this, you do that. I wake up, I check my body to make sure I'm all right, that I'm okay, that I'm breathing, that nothing's wrong. And then I go about my day. See, you guys take life for granted. You guys do the simplest things as, breathing, walking, talking. You guys go to sleep and you wake up the next day like nothing happened. But me, when I go to sleep, there's that constant fear of death. That constant, even though, I've been living with death my whole life, there's that constant thought of, and it's not even really a fear, it's more of a thought of, okay, I'm going to sleep, you know, but then there's that little thought inside my head, what if I don't wake up the next day? What if I don't wake up that next morning? What if my lungs just completely shut down and quit working? And if you guys notice that whenever I do a cover show and I get worn out like I do, like you see me taking breaths, that's why. It's not because anything is wrong with me, it's because I can't hold the air capacity that most can. So I make do with what I have. You guys complain every day, oh, my life's so hard, my life is this, my life is that. I don't, have enough money to pay bills this month or my phone bill, or I can't do this, I can't do that. Man, there are people in the hospital like me every day. Matter of fact, if you look up, one of my biggest influences for talking about life and, doing positive messages is a YouTuber that I've been following for quite some time now by the name of Claire Wineland. And she actually is in a very similar situation as me. She was born with cystic fibrosis, which is a constant buildup of super thick mucus in the lungs. And, doctors have said the same thing to her many times over. And now she is, I think, like 19 or 20. And they said she wouldn't live. But yet she continues to prove them wrong. Just like I proved every doctor in the hospital that doubted me wrong. So you guys have sat there and troll me. Instead of trolling people, why don't you be more mindful and more positive towards people? Because you don't know what that next person is going through. That next person that you troll, they could be going through something so severe and you wouldn't even know it. That's why I try to treat every person with the amount of respect that I do. Because I know that I know that life is short. Life is way too short to be worrying about bullying other people. Instead of focusing on being negative and attacking people, why not preach, and spread, love, caring, happiness, kindness. I mean, I've had people make, mockeries of me and this and that, and to a certain degree, it does sting a little bit, not gonna lie. but I ignore it because I know that what I'm doing is the right thing. I'm taking time to help people. I'm doing what I can to help others by utilizing one of the biggest platforms in the world. You know, people say that I'm a fighter, and a lot of you guys are right. I am a fighter, but it goes just beyond YouTube. I'm a fighter in life. Every day I wake up is another win. Every night when I go to sleep knowing that day could be my last day. I go to sleep knowing that, one day I might not, wake up. And I'm fine with that because I know that what I'm doing and that the legacy that I've left behind is a good one. I think about it. Imagine having to go to the doctors once a month for your entire life to get checkups, to make sure you're breathing, to have to go through all these different things. That's my life. That's my life on a daily basis. And when I went through those relationships of mental abuse and verbal and emotional abuse, it kind of took me to that state of mind of, okay, like, I just want to get this death over with. I'm tired of it taunting me. I'm tired of it fucking with me. Just make it easy on me. Just take me away from this shit. Just do something to take me away from this horrible place that I'm stuck in. Because when I was dealing with the abusive relationships I was in, 99% of the time, I constantly asked God over and over, please, just take me away from this earth. Take me off this planet. Just end my suffering. Just take me out of this shit, please. What up, man? But, it wasn't until a couple years ago when I was talking to Drama Kiki, who is honestly a really good tattoo artist. Like, I cannot lie. She actually has some very good tattoo work, despite what people think. Like, she actually has some really good work. And when I talked to her, me and her sat down and had a legitimate conversation outside of YouTube, outside of the drama. It was just me and her one on one, just, having a genuine, normal human conversation. And she gave me the idea. She was like, like, you need to do something with that. Like, there's something there with your story, with what you've been through, there's something there. Like, you should try to, make a video about it, write a book about it, do something. Put your story out there and, let people hear what you've been through. And, and I tried to do that at first and it got shut down, but Drama was one of the first ones to step up and say, hey, there's something there with that. Use that. And at that time, I wasn't even thinking about using my life story at all. I mean, yeah, I put it out there as far as, like, the bullying aspect goes and what I had been through. But I never really put it out there and explained it. I never really, put it out there and talked about it until, she was like, hey, there's something there with that. Like, speak on it, say something. And it was in that moment, that night, after I had gotten off with her she went to go back to work at the tattoo shop. And it wasn't until that night when I was laying down that, like, I really started to think about it, you know? I really started to think, like, maybe she's right. Maybe there's something there, you know? And that's when, like, it kind of, it kind of hit me like a light bulb, like a light turned on in my mind. Like, I found my purpose. Because that entire time I've been looking and looking and looking for a purpose and didn't know what it was. And then when drama came in and was like, yo, like, you need to do this. And then later that night when I sat down and really thought about it, it was like, boom. Instant freaking light bulb. It was almost as if freaking life just straight up bitch slapped me in the face. It was like, fuck you, fuck your past, talk about this shit. Fuck the bullshit, fuck the idiots, talk about this shit. Do this. And it was, I want to say that it was my older brother smacking me in the face with that message, but I don't know. I mean, it could have been, but like, it was like he just basically was like, yo, wake the fuck up, asshole. Talk about this shit. Do something with it. Like, you got the shit you need. You got the tools to make what you want with your life. Use it. Like, here it is right in front of you. Wake up. But, it was because of Drama Kiki, and mine and her's conversation that, I really started to, dig into, stuff that I had been through. And I started reaching out to other people, on the channel. I started utilizing this platform to really reach out to other people who have been in very similar situations, who have gone through the stuff that I've gone through. Dude, you ain't even him, so get out of here with that trash. Watch this, y'all. Had no slideshows. Remember when I put your ass on block and hid you from the channel? No? Well, I do. Here's a reminder for you. How's that for a memory, bruh? How's that for a memory? You remember that? Because I do. I swear, one of these days I need to find a way to put a banner on YouTube that literally says no negativity allowed or negative free zone. But, like I said, a lot of you guys sit here and you troll and you attack so many people, and it's stupid to me. It doesn't make any sense to me, honestly. Like, it really doesn't, make any kind of sense to me as to, why you guys do what you do. Because even Juggalo972 will tell you the same thing. He's, matter of fact, a few years ago, he made a video talking about what I went through, talking about the bullying and how it needs to stop. And, me and him might not agree on everything, and that's okay. But the one thing that me and him do agree on is that this stuff needs to stop. The negativity has got to stop. Because like I said, I deal with a lot on a day-to-day basis. I go through a lot more than what you trolls even realize. Like, and people have made memes about me, attacking me, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And sure, I may have gone down the wrong road and trusted the wrong people. But the one thing that does remain true is the fact that I have always bounced back, and I have always, always said, hey, you know, like, I'm here. You're not going to stop me. You're not going to stop me from telling my story, sharing my life with the world. Because what I went through and the way that I view life, it in some cases inspires people. I've gotten so many comments and so many messages over the last few years talking about how what I do helps them. Whether it be the simplest thing of sitting down and talking, having, fun gaming out with them, doing whatever. And YouTube is YouTube, and I'll be more than happy to elaborate, dude. Like whenever Tyler NY and all of them got my channel shut down on some false claims, I bounced back from that. I came back. And now look where I'm at. I'm back on the climb. I'm back on that grind. I'm back to helping people. Because, see, a lot of people ask me, what is my ultimate goal for this channel? Is it to make money and use people? Or, like, what's my goal? My goal for this channel isn't to use people at all. It's not to make money off this. My artwork and stuff like that, that's going to happen eventually. Do I use this channel to promote my artwork and my music? Yes. But my main goal for this channel is to do kind of like what Juggalo972 is doing and build a community where people can feel safe and talk about their life, talk about, their life experiences, talk about the things that they go through, that they've been through. Because, yes, I've dealt with death and I face death every day. We all face death every day, just in different ways. It just mine happens to be a little bit more in depth than most, which is why I don't fear it. But, that's pretty much. Oh, absolutely, dude. And I get that, and that's why I'm saying, like, I'm basically, like, think about it this way, dude. I'm basically taking the positive of your channel and building upon that. You see what I'm saying? I'm basically taking the positive aspects and using that. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, I want to build a community where people can come and talk about, what they've been through and come around and hang out and have a good time and, forget about their troubles for an hour or 2 or 3 or 4 or however long. One of these days, I will do a 24-hour stream. I will do that eventually. Don't know when, but I will. Would I ever do a collab stream with Noah Sanchez? Actually, yes, I would. I just need to get back in touch with his family because I do know Noel personally. He's a very good friend of mine. I would definitely love to collab with him. He's got some legitimately amazing videos. Like the videos he makes are actually very, very good and very well done. Like I would definitely collab on a stream with him. He's super cool. He's honestly one of the nicest people I've ever met. Like literally, he is such a nice guy, and people give him so much shit, and it's wrong. And juggling that so too, I get where you're coming from, dude. I get that and I do respect that. But here's the thing, I want to break those limitations. You know, I want to break that and push the limits because that's what I do. I push the limits on things. I innovate and I break new ground. And believe it or not, they're actually matter of fact, Tonica Sales did a 24-hour live stream recently. I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. He did a 24-hour stream, and he went about his day. He just let it play through, had fun, did whatever. He went about his daily life and stuff. He slept, all that stuff. So I think doing something like that would be pretty interesting. Kind of show you guys my day-to-day life. And besides, if he can do it, and build off that, why not give it a shot? Why not break that ground? You know what I mean? Hell, as a matter of fact, why not make it a 2-day live stream? Sit down, go about my day, have a fun time. Spend some time on here, game out with friends, talk on the phone, do this, do that, and just have fun. Like, I think that'd be something interesting. That'd be a bit of a challenge, but that's like, I'm not going to do it right now, but that's something to think about for the future. But, like I said, though, the reason why I started this community, not only was it to tell my story and what I've been through and to inspire people to, to live their lives and stop being so closed minded, but to kind of show people, hey, there's more to life than what you guys think. You guys think that life is just, this, that, blah, blah, blah. It's really not. It's more than that. Life isn't just about materialistic things and this and that. Life is about helping each other. Life is about being, gracious to one another and actually helping each other. That's why when these trolls get up on here, like it confuses me as to like, why are you taking time out of your day to be negative? Why are you taking time out of your day to make somebody feel worse than they already do? Like that it doesn't make sense to me. Like, why take time to make somebody feel worse than they already do when you could sit there, take time out of your day and actually maybe even help that person? Talk to them. You know, even if it's a stranger, sit down and talk to them and be like, hey, this is what I'm going through. Because something I've learned, dude, and I actually had this happen to me very recently. There was a day that I went out to grab some photos using my camera, which is back over there. Like, I went down to the lake to grab some photos and whatnot, which the only reason why I haven't uploaded them to my Facebook or done any art pieces with them is because I need to get a new SD card reader. So I'm waiting to get that. But, I was out there taking some photos. And there was this dude, I'd say roughly in his 20s and whatnot. Didn't know the guy at all. Never seen the guy down by the lake at all. And I just kind of felt like, something was up. So I went over and asked him. I was like, yo, like, you good? Like, is everything okay? Like, what's going on? Like, are you okay? Like, can I help you with something? And man, let me tell you, I sat down with this dude and I literally had the longest conversation with this dude that I've had with anyone. I sat down for like 3 hours and, listened to this guy talk about, how he had just gotten over or gone through the worst, breakup of his life and, how, he had lost his kids to his ex that, just left him and this and that. And like, the dude was just in such a terrible shape. And I genuinely was like, yo, like, I'm sorry. Like, I know what it's like to go through breakups. I've been through that so many times, and she did. His ex did to him what some of my exes did to me, which was manipulate his feelings, made him feel like everything was okay, and then turn around and didn't even really, give a shit about him. And, like I really connected with the guy. And now I literally just found out the other day, actually, because I seen him again. Turns out he actually freaking lives around here, and I didn't even know that. But like he's honestly one of the coolest guys ever. And when I was done talking to him, before he left, he was like, "Yo, like, I really needed that. Like, thank you. Like, I never knew that talking to someone I didn't know would actually help." And sometimes that's what we need. Sometimes we need to talk to people that, we don't know, to vent our frustrations or our problems. Because at that point, when we do that, we're getting an outside perspective on our situation. We're able to look at it from a different perspective. Yeah. All right. Hey, hold on, guys. I'll be right back. What's up, guys? I'm back. Sorry about that. I had that with my mom's or something real quick. And now, man, I just had to help my mom get her socks on because she can barely lift her legs right now. Because she's still on, bed rest from her surgery, but she's doing good though. But like I said, sometimes talking to a stranger is what we need. Because like I said, that allows us to have a different perspective from somebody else, as well as allowing us to, look at our situation from a different perspective. It allows us to take a step back and be like, okay, I never looked at this situation or this issue from this point before. Which is why when I was sitting down this morning, like, it kept running through my head so many times, like, yo, like, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to make a video on this, you need to talk about this. And believe me, I was nervous as hell to do it. You know, I was very scared and nervous to do it because I didn't know, you know, how people would take it. But at the same time, I was like, you know what? Screw it, you know. If people want to poke fun, that's on them. If not, hey, that's cool, you know. Maybe I can get the chance to help somebody. You know, like I said, you know, whether, you know, like I said, whether it's my artwork, my videos, my songs, my gameplay videos, you know, whatever it is, you know, I like to engage with people and help them in some way. Like whether I'm hanging out on Twitch, whether I'm hanging out on StreamYard on another stream, whether I'm hanging out with friends, you know, whether I'm, you know, doing, no matter what I'm doing, the point is, you know, I do that stuff for a reason because, yes, one, I like to be controversial. I like to stand out from the crowd. I like to be that person that's different because, my life has been so different. I figure why not own that difference and run with it? And that is true to a certain extent. It really is true to a certain extent because sometimes, you don't need to help yourself to help others. Sometimes, just the simplest things as, talking to someone can help them. The simplest things of doing like a live show like I do to promote anti-suicide and to promote awareness of anti-suicide and depression and cyberbullying and all this stuff, as well as my own music that I write about it, even those things can help. It's not just limited. Yeah, you're right at the fact that I do need to help myself first, but the one thing I grew up learning is that sometimes helping yourself isn't as important as helping someone else. Because the problem you might face might be big to you, but maybe someone else's problem is just a little bit bigger and they need that extra hand to get through that problem, to get through that issue, which is where I stand at. That's why I'm always putting others, ahead of myself, constantly saying, hey, like, what do you need help with? Oh, dude, it's all good. It's all good, Adrian. It is all good, bro. Like, there's no negativity or anything, bro. It's all good, man. But like I said, Joe, on that too, I see where you're coming from. And like I said, like you have your perspective on it. I have mine. Like I said, there's no hate, bro. Yeah. I'm leaving. Come out the store now. All right. Hey, hold on, guys. All right, what's up, guys? I'm back. But like I said, dude, and you're not wrong, dude. You're really not. You're not wrong in what you're saying. It's just you come from a different background than I do, so you have a different perspective on it. At the end of the day, they're both of our perspectives are correct. But you come from the perspective of, a certain aspect. I come from a different perspective because we both have had different experiences in life. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's really not. You have, your perspective, I have mine. Neither one of them are wrong. It's just you have a different outlook than I do. And that's totally okay. I'm totally fine with that. You have your outlook on things, I have mine. You look at things a little bit different than I do. And you're right, dude. You have experienced some things that I've not. Just like I have experienced things that you have not. So, like I said, at the end of the day, neither one of them is wrong. And see, you doubt that, but here's the thing, dude. You didn't go through being born the way I was. You didn't go through being in and out of a hospital until you were freaking 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. You don't go to a hospital every month to have, your lungs checked to make sure everything's okay. You don't face death on the basis that I do. I mean, yeah, we all face death, but you face it in a different way than I do. Me, I have to face the fact that one day I might not wake up and be here anymore because of my condition and what I've dealt with since I was born. But you wake up, everything's good. Me, I wake up and I deal with this stuff. So like I said, dude, at the end of the day, neither of our perspectives are wrong. Neither one of them is wrong. You can, say that, what you're saying is right and say what I'm saying isn't right, but at the end of the day, technically they are both right. They are both correct. It's just you come from a different spectrum than I do. I come from a whole different spectrum than you do. But at the end of the day, you know, I'm using this platform to build positivity, to show people that they're not alone, with, their depression, their suicide, and stuff like that. And I'm trying to use my story as a platform to, to help people, to show people, hey, this is what, you can do. This is what I've been through. And maybe you can use some of this to help yourself. And in some ways you may be right. In some ways you may be right. In some ways you are on a higher spectrum. But in some ways I am as well. We are both, at the end of the day, dude, we are both on the same spectrum. At the end of the day, we are both humans. We both bleed red. No one is better than anyone. We are all equal at the end of the day. Bottom line, we are both humans. We both bleed red. We are both are human. And no human is ever perfect. Yes, there's things about you that might be perfect to some people. There's things about me that might be perfect to some people. But at the end of the day, we are all human and we need to treat each other with the respect that, they deserve. We need to stop this negativity. We need to stop the bullshit trolling. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, you never know what the next man is going through. Plain and simple, you never know what the next man is dealing with. So, my challenge for you guys that are trolling, my challenge to you guys is this. Instead of spreading negativity and attacking people over and over like you guys do me, try spreading a little bit of positivity. Try sitting down and being positive and, not being so negative. Actually, try to, engage with the person and be cordial with them, be nice to them. That is my challenge for you guys. For you guys out there that are trolling, that is my challenge for you, is to stop the negativity, to stop the hate, and to stop the trolling. That's my personal challenge for you guys. Because if you can do that, then you're already on the right track to a better life. It's not about being financially stable. It's not about, who's right or wrong or who's more smart or this, that. That's not it. Life is about helping each other and being there for one another. Life is about treating the person that's next to you right. Life is about being positive, not being negative. Fuck the negativity. Fuck who's smarter or brighter. Fuck who's on a higher end of the spectrum. Fuck who's not on a higher end of the spectrum of life. At the end of the day, it's not about any of that. At the end of the day, it's about human life. It's about the relationships that we have with each other and how we take those relationships and we use them to fuel what we want to do. So to Juggle 972, I'm sorry to say on this one, dude, but you kind of got outsmarted by me today. Honestly. Like, I literally have outsmart you in every way on this one. Not trying to sound like a dick, but dude, you're not seeing it from my perspective or anyone's perspective. And my challenge to you, Juggle 972, personally, try to look at someone's situation from their perspective. Stop being so closed-minded in your perspective. Try to see the situation from their side and where they're coming from. Stop sitting there saying, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Try to see it from their perspective. No hate at all. Just try to see it from another person's perspective, because I guarantee you, if you see it from another person's perspective and you put yourselves in their shoes, I guarantee you, man, you will see things a lot more differently, man. I guarantee you'll start seeing things differently because you're putting yourself in their position. You're putting yourselves in their shoes and saying, hey, now I understand what you're going through. Now I understand what it's like to be where you're at. So my personal challenge to you, try to be more open-minded and try to put yourself in that person's position, in their perspective, and try to see it from their point of view. Just like I see your point of view. I see where you're coming from, and I accept that. I accept that point of view. But you, however, are not doing the same in return, which shows closed-mindedness. Try to be more open-minded, man. Try to be more open-minded, dude. And honestly, like I said, Juggle 972, I don't care how many subs you got. I could care less about your sub counts. I don't give a shit about sub counts. What I care about is building a community of people, whether it's a couple hundred or a couple thousand. I don't give a shit about the sub count. What I care about is building a community of people that have understanding, that they can, come in and talk and hang out and have a good time. So as I said, Juggle 972, I'm sorry on this, man, but you're just not being open-minded, bro. Be more open-minded. Try to see the situation from another person's perspective, and I guarantee you do that more and more every time. Whenever you're presented with a situation like what you know of me, I promise you start looking at the situation from the other side of the mirror, from the other side of the coin. I promise you, you will have a way more understanding like I do. Like I said, I see your point of the situation. I see your side of things, and I accept that. Now, I'm saying you need to do this, but you really should try to implement that. Implement that point of view from the other person's perspective. Try to put yourself in your mind in their position and think, okay, this is what this person is dealing with. You know, how can I take their mindset and help them? Yes, you may be more experienced at certain things than I am. That may be true. But for me, it's not about who's right or who's wrong or who's smarter or not smarter. It's really not about that. It's about helping others. Because, see, something else you got to understand, Juggle and Not Something, is I not only come from a very long medical background of being in and out of hospitals most of my life, but I also come from a military background. And one of the things they teach you that I had to learn as a kid growing up in the military family is you kind of have to put people before yourself. You have to look out for others before looking out for yourself. You put others first. And that's just facts. Oh, absolutely, Skull Kid. I'll definitely do that. Now, like I said, I didn't serve in the military. My dad was military, but I still come with that same mindset. And that's the kind of mindset that I have. Whether you accept that or not, that's on you, bro. But I come in with the mindset of, you know, I can use my story to help others. And I want to put others before myself. I want to help others, outside of myself. I fuck what I'm going through because their situation may be worse than mine. So it's my job as a human being to sit down and be like, hey, what's going on? What are you going through? And when they tell me what's going on, I can then sit down and be like, okay, I see where you're coming from. I know what you're going through. Now, how can I use that and help you? But with that being said, guys, I do hope that this did help you guys. And I hope that this kind of gave you guys an inside look at my life and what I deal with on a day to day basis. Now, Juggle 972, as I said, I see all your points and I accept those points. I accept your point of view. I accept your opinion and what you say. Now, you, like I said, in turn, need to do the same for others. It's called paying it forward. But with that being said, guys, I do hope that this, helps you guys in some way, shape, or form. And hopefully you guys have a better understanding of, what it is that I deal with on a day to day basis. And hopefully you guys can take, what you've learned and, help each other, help other people. Don't be like Juggalo 972 here and be closed minded. Actually, get out and help people, help your fellow man. Be there for people that need it. Actually, do something. Peace.